Hey, all you super players out there. Just a quick thing with a little opportunity here. I ordered these plus 5K minus 5K tokens, and I'm selling them at $6 for 10. You can request them either through messaging me on Patreon, Facebook, or on YouTube. I'll put links to all those in the description. When they come out, they look like this. Very high quality, good picture quality. They're sturdy, they're not going anywhere. Um, but yeah, if you're interested in those, hit me up on any of those sources. It's $6 for 10. That includes shipping. Or if you're a $5 Patreon, this month or probably any month going forward until I run out of them, you'll get a set for free. So either hit up the Patreon, become a $5 subscriber, you'll also be in the giveaway this month, or hit me up on one of the links in the description and you can get your own set. Without further ado, here's the video. Hey, all you super players out there, Ben Lodice, aka 5 Buck Lunch, coming at you with a new commentated match. This one's from our locals, and it's me playing Aggro Frieza Metamorphic Threat versus Connor playing Android 13. It's going to be interesting because I'm going to look to kind of go wide, get a bunch of guys on the board, and start swinging, whereas he's going to look to uh, get his big combos in play. As you can see, he starts out with the discard 14, forcing me to discard a card, and then discards two more 14/15s in order to draw some cards. He then attacks and swings in with 30 single critical. It's critical because he forced me to discard a battle card with his effect. Android 13 also awakens at 6 life if you have 14 and 15 in your drop, which he did. So now I'm going to, we have a little break here, but I'm going to charge a multicolor to start, and then I'm going to play a red Rolly so I can get my engine going. Alright, as you can see, I'm going to play my Frieza Spaceship. For those of you that don't know, Frieza Spaceship allows you to, every turn, at the end of your turn, you can play a 2 or less red Frieza's Army from your hand and then draw a card. So I get to play a Clan Commander, draw a card from Frieza's Spaceship, and then use Clan Commander's effect to look at the top 5 for another Clan Commander, and I can do it again next turn. Basically, every turn it allows me to play a free 2-drop at the end. Connor, interestingly, charges his Android 20, so he must have all the pieces he needs. And it's going to pitch another 14/15 in order to draw a card. For those of you that don't know, the 14/15 card says if you have 13 as your leader, you can just pitch it to draw a card for free. And now we're going to see how this can go wide super easy. Whenever you play the 1-drop swap Frieza, you get to +5 on something red, so I'm going to plus my leader and awaken. And then it allows me to play basically all my 2-drop Friezas for 1 energy, which is really powerful. So here comes that second Clan Commander I searched, letting me look at the top 5 for a Frieza card, or Frieza's Army card, rather. And there's my 100% Overdrive, the 5-drop Frieza. So my leader's attacking at 20, remember, because I plussed at 5 from my 1-drop Frieza. And he's going to combo his Android 18, which forces me to put a card on the bottom of my deck. Not a huge deal right now, as I have quite a few cards. Metamorphic Threat draws a lot on the front side. For those of you that didn't see me doing it earlier, you can take a life to look at the top 2 and grab a red Frieza's Army and add it to your hand. So you get to awaken and generate a lot of stuff very quickly. So as you can see, I swapped into the Energy Blight Frieza. Usually it's played as energy, but in this deck you also use it for aggressiveness, since when it attacks, you can minus 5k a leader or battle card. So it's basically swings at 20 since it minuses the leader by 5. And it's just going to help me. And so here I'm going to put in Zarbon and with my Frieza Spaceship and draw a card. So now I've already got 4 guys on the field on turn 3, which is pretty good, and 2 energy open with which to interact with my opponent. the Zarbon's effect is when it is KO'd, I can negative 15k something and draw a card. And there. See, now Frieza Spaceship was very instrumental to that play. Because I was able to keep mana open but still play guys, I had energy for Denial of Hope, which stops his big Android 13 from coming down for the turn, which is very important against this deck. And when he attacks, just to put some more pressure, I'm going to drop Cooler. Just because I want to get in as many attacks as possible before he can get his big 13s out. +5 on leader again, swapping into even more clan commanders. And here I actually, if I remember correctly, I made a small mistake. I forgot that I charged the Mutable Menace. So, and I wanted to go into the big Frieza here, but since I charged Mutable Menace, I actually can't get there anymore. The Mutable Menace actually also works as a swap too, for those of you that don't know. You can go into it and then you can pay a red to put him to the drop to play the 3-drop from your hand. So it's not quite the same as swap, but it works in a similar fashion. And basically here we're just shotgunning all our Frieza cards to attack. And we're just trying to put as much pressure on as possible because he's going to be able to play a 13 next turn. I don't have another denial or anything like that. So we want to put as much damage in as possible before he gets rid of our board. That damage right there is pretty huge. The fact that he tapped out last turn was really big for us because he couldn't really defend himself. And you can kind of see his hand right now, but one thing that's going to come into play pretty big here is almost all of his cards are 10Ks right now. So even though he has like a bunch more cards than me, we'll have to see if that's even going to be enough. But here he does get his 13 out. So Android 13, the Brilliant, you put a 14 and a 15 underneath him, and you can go into either of the 7-drops from your hand. And then the big one can put 3 androids back to the bottom of your deck to KO a card, and then your opponent has to discard 2 cards of their choice. And now I only have 4 cards, so I don't have a lot to defend myself with. So I'm going to lose some freezes here. And now he scoops, because if you look at Asaw's hand, he had almost, I think he had 1 5K in his hand, and he's only got 1 energy. And I have 4 attacks, I think it was, staring at him right there, plus more amps coming into play. So that's a good example of like what can go really well with the Frieza deck. It can really just throw things on board and recur very easily, because everything you put on board, be it Friezas or the Zarbon, they all draw cards either when they come down or when they're removed. So you're not losing any advantage to throw down a bunch of these 15Ks. You just overwhelm your opponent. It's a really cool kind of different way to play the Frieza cards, because the cooler deck is fast, but not kind of like Frieza's. Also, Frieza self-awakens, which is very, very useful. And it also is very good against opposing go wide decks, because it can also increase its own. It can Senzu Bean itself on the Awaken side. I didn't have to do it at any point in this game. But a very cool deck. I'm having a lot of fun with it, actually. It's being able to play the Frieza Spaceship in an actual real deck is very cool. But yeah, go out there, play some Super, and please like, subscribe, and check out the Patreon.